Hello, and welcome, ladies and gentlemen of the internet. My name is Mark, and welcome to another episode of the Rogue-a-thon, the series where I play roguelike games from my Steam library while talking about their design. First, I'll be playing through a run, showcasing the game and its mechanics, and then I'll give my overall thoughts on the game as a whole. Timestamps below if you want to skip ahead. Today, we're taking a look at WINDBLOWN. This is a game I've been very much looking forward to playing, and I'm definitely excited to be showcasing it on this series. Now, this is obviously still early access. The game is brand new right now, quite fresh, I would say. But if you're in the roguelike world, then you might have heard of this game quite a bit in the last few, months/years at this point, right? So, for those of you who don't know, WINDBLOWN is from the same people as Dead Cells. Now, Dead Cells was a very successful 2D action roguelike, and this is their second game. And I think it's really interesting to look at this game and to compare it to Dead Cells, because it is quite different in some regards and very similar in others. And I think the more niche little design choices are very, very close to how Dead Cells did a lot of their choices in the design aspect. And Dead Cells has some pretty unique ways of, dealing with the roguelike genre. What do I think of WINDBLOWN? Well, just stick around and you'll see for yourself. Knowing Dead Cells, I'm willing to bet this game is going to have a lot of content as the years go by. For those of you who don't know, Dead Cells is known for having ridiculous amount of updates, constant DLCs. It's kind of a joke at this point. We'll see. This is just the beginning, but from what I've played, it is definitely a unique experience. Before even getting into the gameplay, one thing you might potentially be hearing or noticing, the music. Music is pretty, it's pretty fire. And to be honest, one thing that definitely caught my attention on this game is, so they released a few teaser trailers, and one of them did pretty well. It is actually the cinematic that plays when you boot up the game, but that cinematic is hilarious. It is extremely anime, super over-the-top epic, with really awesome music from a really cool composer. It sometimes doesn't feel like it fits everywhere, personally, but I think the music quality is fantastic. The game definitely has a vibe that it's trying to go for. And even this menu screen is really enjoyable. It's very chill, it has a good vibe. It kind of reminds me of, this is gonna feel like left field here, but Skyward Sword, right here. This is the hub. And the hub is super chill, and you're on these huge floating island where you have all your NPCs and everything, and when you're ready, you just start your run by getting into this cannon, and you're being propelled into this big tornado. But if you've played Skyward Sword, I do know Skyward Sword is quite of a controversial game, all things considered. One thing I really loved about Skyward Sword was the overall vibe that the game had, and I think I'm willing to bet that it took some inspiration from that, because it really kind of gives me that Skyward Sword hub vibe of just being in floating islands, just chilling. It's really cool. These kind of games, especially 3D action games, I think nailing the vibe is pretty important, because obviously 3D is a little bit more immersive than 2D in general. And I think that, visually, the game is awesome in this hub. We'll talk about gameplay in a second, obviously, but in terms of just when you get here, it's just so nice. And there's a little areas you can get to. There's a little well here, you could find a little hidden secret. I wonder how extensive this hub will get through more hours played or through more updates, but currently there's not too much to do, but it's just really solid vibe. So as you might have realized, we are fast. Oh yeah, we're fast. Now Dead Cells is pretty well known for its fast-paced action, right? And this game, let's go up to 11. Wow, basically the way that the speed works in this game is, here's my dash. Now my dash by itself is already pretty fast. Basically this dash has a 0.5 second cooldown, maybe? 2, even faster, right? It's so you have that really fast. But the craziness is if you hop over to a ledge, then cooldown is instantly refreshed, which means that you can do this kind of stuff if you go from one area to another. Now, from a gameplay standpoint, this doesn't really add much other than it being super satisfying. And I think that's great because basically what happens is that the worlds are much bigger and more vast, but since you can dash through it so fast, it doesn't really matter. Now, they could have done it so that you can't have that like crazy fast dash and just have the world smaller, but it's just so enjoyable to be able to just dash from one area to another. And I think that's a really, really nice touch. And it's, you know, it might look a little intimidating from a design standpoint to have that mechanic in your game, but the game is made so that, yeah, the refreshes only occur when you go from one area to another, which is usually not going to be a thing during actual combat. So the combat does not take that into account. It's purely for exploration's sake, and I think that's brilliant. I think it's really enjoyable. I will talk more about the actual gameplay in just a moment. Let's see, can I unlock anything? Replicate 105% of the damage dealt after 0.07 seconds. Boost chance to be enhanced plus 30%. Sure, let's grab that for our next run. This like permanently unlocks this ability, and I start with it for the next run, which is quite nice. Let's do a yeah, let's do the echo. So we'll have 2 items to start off with. These are little passives that we can have. So now, whenever I deal damage, yeah, after a second or so, it deals damage again. Boom, bop, boom, bop, boom. Cool. There you go. We're gonna play on normal difficulty. This is quite a roguelite. You do need to unlock a lot of things in order to get stronger. So I'm not going to try to get too fancy with playing on the higher difficulties because I still have not unlocked too many things. So clear sky, and we're going to start at the Golem Garden. There seems to be 2 different destinations to start off with. This is just for the first world. If you know Dead Cells, this is something they like to do as well. Have different like world biomes you can choose during your run. I'm only going to imagine they're going to get more and more intricate as the game gets more and more updates because again, I've got a feeling like they're trying to stick with a lot of the Dead Cells designs. So I'm definitely curious to see a lot of comparisons between the 2 games, which I will start off in just a moment as we get launched. Boom! To the beginning of our first run. So is this game also a Metroidvania? That is a good question. So Dead Cells is known to be a Metroidvania roguelike. Now, Metroidvania roguelike is kind of counterintuitive. It doesn't really make sense to have Metroidvania roguelikes because they're kind of like opposite designs in some ways. But Dead Cells did promote itself as one of them. And honestly, as a big Metroidvania fan and someone who works in the roguelike world, I would say Dead Cells, it just uses that more for like the marketing aspect. Like once you've played Dead Cells, basically the first few hours, there's a little bit of Metroidvania aspects, which is cool, which is fun. And then later on, it does not matter, which makes sense because once you've unlocked everything, there's still crazy amount of replayability, but no more Metroidvania, you know, elements, which makes sense. Again, this conversation is not about saying that I don't agree with the term Metroidvania for Dead Cells. I don't personally care. But does this game have that? No. Not to my understanding, not to my knowledge. It seems like they decide to scrap that aspect from the Dead Cells design, and this is just a straight-up action roguelite. Now, it doesn't surprise me they went with the roguelite element still, because Dead Cells is very much a roguelite, and all things considered, I would say that Metroidvania, you know, if you're going to be a Metroidvania, you're obviously going to be a roguelite, right? Because you're supposed to unlock things. So this is they just went a little harder on the roguelite elements on this game, I would say. But it is not a Metroidvania. Good question, though. All right, so we start off with 2 weapons. We got the heavy blade, and we've got a grenade. Now, very similar to Dead Cells in that regard. We have 2 main weapons and 2 skills, which is exactly like Dead Cells. Now, in terms of gameplay, I would say that the actual combat is more extensive than Dead Cells. The way the combat works is I can whack my weapon by just clicking one button, or I can use my other weapon. This is the heavy blade. And you might have realized that little like flash thing occurs after I do a few hits. This triggers a combo. If I do my my right weapon and then press my left weapon when this occurs, I do a special ability. And then if I do this again, I do another special ability. And then if I do this again, I do a third ability eventually. Okay. Basically, the game is trying to push players to use both weapons. You have to use one weapon a lot until you get the combo. When you use that combo, you get invulnerability frames and you get really powerful. And then you use that new weapon, and then until you get another combo that you can switch to your other weapon. And the more you do that in a row, the stronger those combos get. So the game is trying to push the players into a whole like combo scenario where you're trying to switch between weapons as frequently as possible, and you get rewarded for it. Now, that gameplay loop is very fun, I would say. It can get a little tricky in some aspects because sometimes that combo, it is complicated, but basically it's kind of hard to know when you're going to get your iframes. Like, right, it's not very clear where your iframes are. Here I have iframes, but for most of the animation, you know, and with how crazy visually things are, it can be a little hard sometimes to get that combo off without taking damage. You really do have to pay attention a lot. Oh, that was my bad. You'd have to pay attention to constantly making sure that, yeah, you're not getting screwed by animation timer, and that you're really looking at the what your opponents are doing at all times. We got a little secret area here. So you can see, I do like the fact that you can very clearly see when the opponents are doing an attack. There is not only a visual cue, but also an audio cue, which is quite nice. Telepike, let's use that over the heavy blade. I don't actually like the heavy blade. Telepike has a little bit of a long range, and the combo of the Telepike is this. A little, like, tornado thing. So it's cool. Every weapon has their own little, like, attacks, but they also all have their own combo, which is great. Visually, the effects of the weapons are great, which is similar to Dead Cells. Dead Cells has always been really good at making, you know, using your weapon feel good. They've always spent a lot of time and like effort into individual weapon animation, which I really that was dumb of me. Which I really respect because it feels great. You know, like you give your collected things to this big flying thing. Don't ask. We're gonna use this to get some health because health is pretty rough. Actually, I've only been playing on the harder difficulty, so maybe I don't need as much health. No. All right, we got a little arena here. Okay, so we've got our first instance of a combo kill. Now you might have realized when I kill a there you go, like this moment when I kill a big enemy, there is a moment where I can use shift to finish them off. This, oops, I thought I was gonna kill them. This actually gives you more points. It's just when they get really low, you can instantly kill a big enemy by pressing shift from afar. It's one of those things where I think it's really smart because it's very straightforward. It's very simple. It doesn't really add too much other than just feeling cool and rewarding to just be able to just one-shot something that's about to die with a big animation, and then you get a bonus from it. I think enemies drop more stuff when you do that. It's a very nice little touch that they've decided to add to it, which I really respect. There's a lot to talk about in this game, so here we've got a new weapon we can add. Let's do the boomerang is complicated, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do the boomerang. I'm gonna replace it with our starting fish knife. And I'm going to flip my weapons around. Okay, so I have my pike on my left hand now. And I've got... So... Oh, actually, both the pike and this have similar combos, actually. So the boomerang goes over here, and when it comes back, I can immediately trigger my combo, which is interesting. So it's a bit of a different way of playing than others. I don't need this thing. Oh, I have to remember I have my grenade. I'm gonna go this path. Okay. Okay, shift. Shift. Dodge. Shift. So, as you can see, in case it wasn't obvious, gameplay is extremely fast, and it is definitely a game that, for people that are comfortable with action roguelikes, it's gonna feel good. Otherwise, it might look very chaotic and very hard to really grasp if you're not used to this kind of game. I would say this is not a beginner-friendly game because there's a lot visually and there's a lot of reaction. So we got a boost. Boosts are your basic number adjustment upgrades that you get in a lot of these games. I like the boost mechanic in this game. It feels pretty good. The upgrades are pretty significant. 10% attack speed, 20% critical. Critical is when you do one of those specific things with a weapon, you know, like for instance, with my pike, if I hit the tip, I get a critical. Critical is pretty good, but attack speed really allows me to do more combos, so we're gonna go with the attack speed here. I'm gonna follow the wind. Destroy all the pots because it feels really, really good to do. Let's go over here. Got a big boy here. Shift, kill it. Oh, another boost. Hell yeah. That's lucky. 15% attack speed. Ooh la la. Yes, please. Every day of the day. So more attack speed I will take. There are some secret passages here and there that you could look for. Oh, a new unlock? Critical refill. Cool, sure. We can do that. And shift. Nice. And we got an ultra laser. Hell yeah. So now we got... I haven't used my grenade. I have to be better at it. Funny enough, it's the same as Dead Cells. When you first start playing Dead Cells, you don't use your... People don't tend to use their actual like items enough. Same thing here. I think like you have to get comfortable like actually using it. Here's my grenade, and here's the ultra laser. Boom, bam. There we go. We got kunais. I do not like the kunais, so I'm just gonna get rid of them. Combat definitely looks enjoyable. It is super enjoyable. This game really tries to focus just feeling awesome and looking cool, which I am all up for because it feels really great. Ooh, an apple. I like apples. But you do have to pay very close attention. It might feel or look like button mashing, but this game is quite hard, all things considered. Like, you really do have to be aware of where your enemies are at all times and what they're doing. Like, I have to constantly be dashing it towards the right direction, you know, trying to evade certain things. So, it feels good. It's satisfying just by the core gameplay, but it's also satisfying in terms of, like, it really rewards you. Kill all enemies in less than 20 seconds. Easiest game of my life right here. Oops, I did not see them do that. Oh, I have to do more. Whew! Nice, got it. Okay, I lost a lot of health, but I didn't see one of the animations there. Let's do critical plus 20%. That seems pretty good. I took a lot of damage, but again, I'm not playing on the hard. I am playing on the easiest difficulty, so it should be okay. Easiest difficulty is still fairly challenging, I would say, but I do get a heal after this boss. Two and three. Move here. Get my combo, get another combo going, and shift. We got it. Nice, all right. We got memory shards, memory dust. These are things for the hub. We get a gift. This is our first of actual big, like, passive abilities. These are actual, you know, interesting roguelike elements. So, randomly mark an enemy every 3 seconds. Mark enemies, hit marked foes with your weapon to unleash a lightning and deals heavy damage. Your first hit against the target deals 120% damage, or using a trinket activates Rush. And Rush is a unique little thing where your next dash deals damage and stuns. Let's do the randomly mark an enemy. I did start with 2 other ones that I started in the hub, right? One of them was the boost chance to be enhanced is plus 30%. Now, I don't know visually how easy it is to see whether a boost has been enhanced or not. I was trying to figure that out. And we have the replicate damage, which doesn't really work super well with my build right now, but it's still pretty good. We're going to grab a random mark here, and we're going to move on. We're going to get a full heal here, which is nice. You got to chill in that little area. Gain my health back, destroying some pots along the way, because we love to do that. Yes, we do. I can't go down there, apparently. And we're going to go to the shop. The shop has, you know, what you would expect, a bunch of stuff. You can get a memory dust. Let's get a memory dust for the hub. I got a lot of money. And I'm not going to buy anything else. And I'm going to explain why in a little bit. We're going to get our little fish, some little cogs. And we're going to move to the next biome. Oh, you know what? Wait a minute. Actually, there are Metroidvania aspects-ish, now that I think about it. You do unlock new abilities as you go further in biomes, but these abilities are purely for combat, not for exploration, if that makes sense. So I guess they kind of try to keep the idea of like you need to explore more to unlock abilities permanently, but these abilities are not things that allow you to explore more, if it makes sense. So I don't know if that would be, well, obviously it's obviously not considered a Metroidvania, but in terms of keeping, you know, a similar vibe to it, right? All right. So now we're in the little industrial area right now. It's always nice to see what like the default, you know, second world of these kind of games are, right? Right now these are pretty straightforward enemies. This guy I have to kill quickly. This guy does a little laser, and then he runs away if you get too close, but we killed him too fast, so it's all good, all Gucci. Little secret area here, or nope, it's just an extension of one spot. Maybe there is a secret area, though. Let me see. No? No, okay. No secret area. All right, moving on. Yeah, having both of these weapons work pretty well together. I do have to be pretty close to the enemy, but... Ooh, a mini-boss for some cogs? Sure. This guy can be a bit dangerous. Just have to evade his attacks. It's okay. Got it. And boom. Cool. Just gotta evade some stuff. Cogs, again, are things for the hub. Completely useless for the run itself, but I'm still trying to, you know, get more stuff in this game, so that's fine to do. Let's go this way. Got some mines. Gotta be careful with the mines on the floor. It's all good. This guy's gonna try to run away, but again, I'm too fast. Deja vu. This door I don't think actually does anything. And we're moving on to the next place. I will say, again, like the level design obviously is like, there's quite a lot going on in the level design, right? But it is, anchor boom is pretty fun. Let's replace the boomerang. All right, check this out. Boom, boom, boom. And if I do the combo of it, it goes boom. That's pretty good. And I can also charge it to do a big blast. Again, this is very Dead Cellsy in terms of having, you know, weapons that all feel very different from one another. And that, you know, are very enjoyable. They really put a lot of effort in the weapons. I think that's awesome. Gotta evade at the right time. This guy over there sucks. He's very dangerous. I got my combo, so we're good. Nice, okay. Drop this. Kill them, and kill you. Nice, woo, okay. Yeah, knowing the movesets of these enemies is really good. So similar to Dead Cells, once again, you will find these the same weapons and same skills, I think you call them, but the higher the level, the more they will come with unique little stat boosts, which is really nice. Relaunches after 1 second. My ultra laser sounds pretty fun. We're gonna do that. All right, we've got on unlock here. This is my old super laser, which I don't care. Let's grab that. Let's move on. Give our cogs to this fish. I don't know why that's a thing, but sometimes you just gotta accept whatever the video game's telling you to do. Oh man, my explosion thing is doing some good damage. Holy shrimp. Ooh, another boost. So can I see whether a boost is boosted? Like, it's not just that. That doesn't mean it's been boosted. How can I see whether it's been boosted? I don't know. Well, I'm gonna grab the 10% plus 15 health, because why not? What is the lore of this game? I'm gonna be honest, for some reason, I didn't follow it super well. I think I got a little confused. I forgot why. I think it was just the way I was playing it. It is something to do with this big... No, you know what? I don't even want to say, because I honestly don't remember. Oh, another boost. Jeez. 10% plus 15. I guess that's boosted, maybe? Yeah, I forgot. I just really like the animation and the cinematic. To my understanding, like, you... Let me think. Oof, I almost got hit. That's okay. iframes. Boom! Combo finisher damage plus 60%. Cool. So it's just a stronger telepike. All right. Let's continue. Let's go over there. Which way should I go, actually? This way, I think. Ow! I took damage, didn't I? It's okay. You can see the iframes, right? Like, I didn't take damage while I was doing the animation. It's hard to know, again, like, visually, whether you're immune or not. Boop. Man, that thing deals a lot of damage. Kill it. Kill it. Nice. Ooh, Bloodlust. A bleed aura. Let's replace that with a grenade. Applies, basically we explode and then now, and then our things deal damage around, like our weapons deal poison damage is what's going on. We don't need that. Let's move on. All right, what is this one? Kill all enemies in less than 25 seconds. Easiest game of my life right here. Whew. Iframes saved me there. Ah! Too late. And you are out. Nice. Challenge complete. New weapon. Ooh, Sirocco over my telepike? Damage plus 20%. Yeah, let's change it up a little bit. So Sirocco. And so that means I'm actually going to switch my weapons around. So now, this guy does this, and my Sirocco is a long-range fire wand thing. Doesn't deal much damage, but has really good range, and it does put people into... it does create fire. Burns the enemies. Burn them to the ground. Don't need that. Mini-boss. There you go. Move away. Make it blast. Get away. And shift. Cool. Got it. All right. We are pretty strong. Feels good. Bam! Another one of those. Chisk. Okay. Your bleed deals more damage. Burn damage rate is increased. Or change alter attack deals more damage. Honestly, alter attacks are fantastic. So I'm going to do that. Okay, we got our first actual major boss here. This fellow is pretty dangerous. There is a mechanic in this fight that is rough. If you don't kill its ads, you just get annihilated. So we need to really make sure we kill the ads fast. Okay, I got the combo on. I evaded the grenade. This might look very chaotic, but okay. Kill this thing over there. Killed it. And done. Okay, I might know this fight quite well. But there you go. That probably looked a little hectic, but I'm also... I didn't think the easy difficult... I mean, I haven't played that much. I've only played, like, a few hours. Maybe I just have a pretty powerful build. But, alright. Alright, another gift. We are going to have to replace one of our gifts with one of these if we want it. Ooh, enemies and mini-boss drop a boost when slain. That is so insanely overpowered in my opinion. I'm going to grab that. I'm going to do against the Echo, I think. Yeah, the Echo. Because boosts are fantastic. As you can see, like, as you saw, like, boosts just give you so many stats, so. Alright, well, that was one of the bosses. We got our health back. Let's go up here. Fish! I want the fish! Now we've got a special fish. Ladies and gentlemen, you are not ready for some fish action, let me tell you. We got an extra button to press for fish. Okay, we are going to the next world. All right, I want to showcase my fish. Well, actually, at the beginning, there are going to be many big enemies at the beginning of this biome here. Careful. These guys can be a little dangerous. Ooh, a new upgrade. Hibikini's umbrella. Sure. That's hilarious. Ah, bologna sandwiches. I was right out of my iframes. No secret area. Doesn't seem so. There we go. Killed it from afar. Let's grab an apple. I could have kept that apple for later, but because at least, like, even though the world is pretty big, I mean, you go from one side to another so incredibly fast that you could always come back for some food. Let me do this. There you go. Nice. Open up a chest. I actually do not like the goo brush. Even though it's higher level, I do not want it. Similar to Dead Cells, you know, there are some weapons, even if they're a higher level, you just don't like them, so you're just not gonna go for it. Shop or an upgrade. Let's do an upgrade. That was dangerous, but I got it. Let's get my combo going here. Boom. There we go. Let's get that going as well. It looks like... Oh, I did not get it off. Unfortunate. Get out of here. Get out of here. And let's get my laser going. There we go. Cool. All right. Get a new gift. Let's see. Which one would I get rid of? The mark is not as important. Boost is really good with the boost stock thingy. Counter change is fantastic. So maybe the random mark if I want to get rid of. Weapon and trinkets deal more damage while near to your target. No thanks. I'm playing far away. So let's just not grab any of them. Move on. Go up that rope. Boost. No. Cogs and shop. Darn. I feel like people take iframes for granted. I've been playing a lot of Nuclear Throne, and now I'm very grateful to games that like Dead Cells and Enter the Gungeon for having them. Yes, iframes drastically changes the vibe of a game, I will say. In this game, the game is really, really mean with its iframes. While you're doing your combo, you're completely invincible. Visually, I kind of wish they would show that a little more. It's kind of hard to know what animation makes you invincible. But if you don't have actual invulnerability frames, when you take damage, you have barely any iframes between hits. So you have to be really careful with this game. You can go down to 0 hit points extremely fast. And with a game that's this fast-paced, even if you're doing really, really well, you might get like destroyed very quickly. So it's a game where you really have to pay attention. Here, fish. Look at that. Look at that fish. Look at that fish. He just ate one of those big boys. And now I can just destroy him. So that's my fish. Fish is awesome. We love fish. Okay, these guys, yep. Iframes. Okay, get out of here. Laser. He's gonna come over here. Shift. Kill him. All right. He's gonna come here. Come on. Dodge. Dodge. And he's gonna come here. Dodge as well. Got my iframes going. Shift for kill. Can come behind him. Shift, and he's dead. Cool. Great. Whew. Yeah, these guys are a little faster, but again, you just have to know their movesets, and it's pretty easy to learn their movesets, all things considered. It's just a matter of just being patient. You can bonk. Cool. I still haven't found like a secret area. I don't know like the secret like areas very well. I guess they did this fairly similar thing in Dead Cells, where like Dead Cells does have like secret spots that you just have to know, and once you know them, you know where to find, you know where to get them, you know? Oh, there you go. Found one. Heavy bleeding. Bleed applications +1. It's a bleed thing. Fortunately, I can't have it because I'm limited in my amount of gifts that I can have. All right, let's move on. Careful his combo here. He has his grenades, launchers. I think I have time. Nice. Fireworks! Nice, we got our boost here. What do you got? Critical damage, +20%. Sounds like A-okay to me. Oh, we got our fish back. Hell yeah. I think fish works against the big bad boss, too. Nice. Ultra laser, level 4? I mean, it's... Yeah, sure. Doesn't have the relaunch thing, which is a shame, but it is still stronger, I would say. Let's grab it. All right. I haven't really been using my stuff, but I don't really need to because I'm just so strong with my weapons. I will probably have to change them eventually because they are still getting a little low level, all things considered. Dodged it. Just gotta pay attention to their movesets again. And nice. All right. Anything else I missed while I'm at it? Doesn't seem so. Let's go over here. What is this one? Kill all enemies in less than 40 seconds. Ooh, and I get another boost. Ooh, boosts are really good. Let's do it. I'm gonna use all my actual thing and my fish if need be. I was stupid. Ah, I'm playing terribly. Ah, I'm playing so bad. I'm playing too aggressively. See, like, it really shows, right? Like, how different it is if you're just not playing well versus where you're... Well, I was just trying to be too fast, but I did that so terribly. It doesn't matter. We should be fine. I have so many potions. I haven't used any potion. I might just use a potion at this point, because I can just buy a new potion. I haven't used money for much. I'll just probably use a potion. I'm going to use it now. There we go. Alright, bonk. There we go. Let's go. Nothing here. Surprised I haven't found a secret area again. Come here. Come on. Boom! Oh, I missed. And shift. Give me that dust. Fireworks! Fireworks! You're stunned. Which means you're gonna die. Because apparently they get stunned because of fireworks? I don't know. Does this game have any secrets? Yeah, I mean, of course. You know, kind of like Dead Cells, there's obviously secrets here and there. I haven't played too much of this game yet to really know how much there is to it, but... Oh, darn. I didn't get the... Oh, this guy. Get my iframes. Oh, shoot! I forgot. That was the wrong weapon. I was like, why am I already... This is the weapon that has the longer iframes, so I have to be careful. Go ahead, do your worst. Okay. Gosh, I played that so badly. Yeah, because twice in a row I used the wrong combo, which my other weapon... One of my weapons combo has very low iframes. The other one has like a 1+ second iframe, so I have to be careful with that. Raven's Blade. Let's do the Raven's Blade. Yeah. Ooh, deals 40% damage to targets with burn. That works really well with... actually, both of those. They both do burn. But the Sirocco is better at doing burn, so I'm going to do that. So now... do this, and then I'll do... Yeah, and that ultimate... I'm completely invulnerable during that entire thing. I'm completely invulnerable during all of that. So... I do have to be careful again. I did lose a little bit of health here. I think I'm fighting the big bad boss coming up too. Okay, so I'm gonna use... Oh shoot, that was the wrong one! Darn it, I was trying to do the other one. Gosh darn it. That was unfortunate. Can you stop doing your thing? Alright, that was terrible. Shield. I don't think I want to play with a shield. Similar to Dead Cells in that regard. I just don't want to play that for that. No. I'm gonna have to use my other potion. Jeez. Need to be more careful here. Okay. It's oddly suspicious, but doesn't seem like there's anything here, so... What the hell? Okay. Whoa. Okay, that's kind of trippy, I will say. Cool, cool design. Yeah, okay, cool. All right. No! I was trying to do the combo. There we go. Come at me. There we go. Ah! I'm out of potions? What have I done? I was doing so well, and then I screwed up. I mean, I don't know this world super well. I haven't played it too much, but still. Here, eat my fish. Screw you, nobody likes you. Get out of here. Nice, okay, that was clean, at least, but boy, oh boy. All right, Bleed Aura level 2 should be pretty solid. It also gives me more max HP, not a lot, but it's some amount at least. Okay, this is the big bad boy. I hope I can make it, I hope I can survive it. I don't know this boss very well. This boss is weird and very fast. I don't have. I've only fought him like 2-3 times. It's the boss of this area. Okay, let's try it. Okay, 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 okay. Oh gosh, oh gosh, another one. Jeez. Ugh. Nope. Huh. 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 Oh gosh. Eat fish. Oh god. I didn't even see what happened at the end there. Oh no. Whoops. Yeah, I thought I did pretty well. I didn't realize he had another attack through that combo. Jeez, that's crazy. I played really poorly on that world. I deserve that loss. But as usual, in these games, I've collected a bunch of cogs, so now I can permanently unlock some stuff. There's a bunch of different currencies, right? You've got your memory dust, your memory something, your something something, and your cogs. They're just all excuses to just unlock different similar things. Your cogs are for your actual roguelite elements, more health, flasks, new starting weapon stuff. You start with a hexed gift, that kind of stuff, and apparently even more stuff that I haven't seen yet. So WINDBLOWN, a game from the developers of Dead Cells, and I think that if you've seen a little bit of this gameplay and you know Dead Cells, then you can definitely see some similarities. No, this is not a sequel to Dead Cells, but it's interesting to see development team kind of approach going from 2D to 3D while still maintaining a lot of some of the core elements of their 2D game. We've seen this with Risk of Rain, a little bit from Wizard of Legend. It's always dangerous to go from 2D to 3D, and I would say that this is a really solid game. This is very enjoyable. I have a few issues with the game that I think could definitely be fixed knowing that it is in early access. Let's talk visuals, vibe, everything. The game looks fantastic, sounds fantastic. I mean, I don't think anyone can think that this is not a beautiful game that is very immersive. I do think they seem to be paying attention to the lore. I don't know why, I just have not followed it. It's just me, I didn't fully focus on the lore. I should have, but they put a lot of effort in their world building. I said they did kind of look a little bit like Zelda Twilight Princess. It also gives me a little bit of Astral Ascent vibe. The hub of Astral Ascent kind of gives me that vibe as well, if you do know that game. But it's a fantastic looking game. I mean, look at the waterfall right there. Oh, I just want to drink from it. Okay, sorry. Yeah, music is great. I will say, once again, the music has been composed by some composer that does some really cool stuff. Very electronic, tend to be pretty energetic stuff, which I think is fitting for this game. I do think sometimes the music doesn't always fit everything. Even in this area. Now, this area right now, the music is nice. You know, it's peaceful. But at one point in this loop, it gets pretty bass and drummy, which that does not fit for me super well. And I do think some areas, the music is super intense, which I wish there was more distinction between the heavier portions of the music, like the more intense versus the not so intense. But in terms of the quality of the music, I think the music is fantastic. And again, if you haven't seen that trailer and the intro sequence animation to this game, Definitely look it up. It is hilariously epic and really, really cool. Very anime. The music, okay, I think it comes here. Yeah, so you've got like a really like big like 4 on the floor kick, which is cool. I just don't think it's super fitting. I would kind of rather keep the like chill vibe here personally, but that's purely taste-wise. I still really love the composition. Visuals again are great, but the VFX are fantastic. The feel of the sword, like the swings, you can really see it's so fluid. It feels great. Hitting enemies, you really get great feedback from that. It's a game that feels fantastic. So visually, massive props on that regard. So gameplay, obviously, as stated, the VFX feel great, but the gameplay also super fluid, very fast-paced, very satisfying, similar to Dead Cells in that regard. Being able to have different weapons, having this combo system is great for this kind of game because it trying to pushes players to try to have to flip between their weapons instead of just sticking to whatever is most powerful. The items you get as well, like the Q and E, are, you know, similar to Dead Cells. They're nice. They're in this nice little addition. And the little fish thing I just unlocked recently, it's a cool addition. It's like you're kind of like a bigger item that's on a higher cooldown. I like that. So I think the gameplay is fantastic. It feels great. The fact that, once again, when you bring an enemy that has a lot of health low, you can have a finisher move. That finisher move, once again, was not necessary to implement, but it just feels great to be able to do that, right? The game is all about feeling satisfying, and obviously the dash, right? The dash is just a very satisfying portion that was not necessary to have, all things considered, because it doesn't really do much from a gameplay standpoint. It just makes you feel awesome traversing the world in just a freaking second. So I love that. It makes the world feel very big and very enjoyable to traverse. In terms of the more niche aspects of fighting enemies, it can get a little hard to see what's going on. The visuals are very flashy. There's a lot going on in these 3D games. That's always going to be the case. There's always going to be the inherent complexity of making sure that you can see what's going on in fast-paced 3D games like this. And sometimes I do wish it was more clear what my iframes are. So I've stated this while I was playing, but when you do your combo, you're completely invincible. But it can be a little hard to know how long. You just have to look at the animation. The more you play, the more you'll know it. Whenever I say something that, like, you know, oh, this can be a little hard to handle in the game, you'll always get people that will say, well, yeah, if you play it for longer, you'll be fine. Yes, but you can say that about anything, about every game, right? Yes, it's true that if I were to play this for 20 hours, odds are I would know my iframes by heart. I would probably not struggle too much with it. But it is important for games to feel comfortable from the start. It doesn't mean that everything needs to be like automatic from the start, right? You still need to practice and get comfortable with certain mechanics. But I do feel like if there was a little bit more player feedback in terms of the iframes, that would be nice. Sometimes I feel like you can get stuck in animation cancellation. Like right now, I am able to dash away from a mid-animation, which feels good. Sometimes not so much. And the fact that the game is so fast, it's kind of hard to know when. Sometimes I can animate cancel something, and sometimes I can't. It's hard for me to know because it's too fast, but sometimes I feel like I take damage even though I tried to dash away, but I was doing an attack. Now, probably what I need to do is not be attacking constantly and like be more careful with when you do your attacks. And I think that's fair. But, you know, for these kind of games, these are very, very minor little details. But this game, when you take damage, this game is very punishing. If you take a lot of damage in quick succession, you'll just die. And it's super fast. So you have to be very cautious about that kind of stuff. As you were able to see, I did the first 2 worlds. No problem. And then the 3rd world, I didn't play very well, and I got annihilated. So you have to be very careful. This is a very skill-heavy game, I would say, and I like that. I think it's really nice to have that kind of like skill-heavy game that feels very satisfying, and that is, all things considered, fairly easy to learn, but probably pretty hard if you're not used to playing action games, because again, it's very, very fast-paced. It might look like I'm doing a million things at once, but I'm not really doing too much. I'm mostly mashing left click, and then eventually I'll do my right click. Okay, I want to talk about the roguelike elements. because this is where I do have a few issues. So I'm not going to compare it to Dead Cells in this regard. I'm just gonna take it for face value what the game has. The roguelike elements, there are a few things, right? There are the boosts, which increase your basic stats, attack speed and stuff like that. You get those randomly. It's hard to know when you can get them, when you don't. You get weapons, you get items, and then you get gifts, I think. And the gifts were the ones where they kind of like drastically, like they're like pretty massive like things. For instance, weak foes can be crystallized by the team. Gain a health flask that refills with 1% of your base damage. Criticals apply 1 curse. These are the gifts. Now, these are your major roguelike elements. Now, I'm going to just go straight to my biggest issue with the game, which is that, I don't know if you noticed, but I was limited to the amount of gifts I could have. I don't like it. Straight up. I don't understand why that's a thing. I mean, I can understand that you're supposed to be selective with like those very powerful things, but I can only have 4, and you start with only being able to do 3. And let me tell you, 3 max gifts felt really disappointing at the start. You can have more by unlocking them here, I think. You need a lot of cogs. But man, even after like 1 run, I was able to complete the game fairly quickly, I would say. But it was so frustrating that once I got like 3 good gifts, then for the rest of the run, all the gifts were meaningless. I didn't care about them because I didn't want to replace my old ones. For me, that is just almost baffling that that's part of the game. It feels really, really disappointing that I cannot have more than 4 gifts. I think you can have max of 5. I feel like you should just have less gifts, or I don't know, but the limitation, and this is a conversation in roguelikes, having limited amount of powerful things so you don't feel completely overpowered. But the thing is, those gifts are pretty situational. A lot of them synergize with each other, right? So for instance, criticals refill trinkets by 1%. Cool. So you can try to go for a trinket build. So you can go for something that goes like, I don't know, trinkets now do this. And then like, ooh, and then you can have like a trinket applies rush. And then you can have a rush synergy. Oh, but no, you can't, because you're full already. The fact that a lot of these gifts synergize with each other, but you can only have a very, very limited amount of them, this might be something that some people don't think is much of a problem. I just don't like that. If you're going to keep it limited, at least give me 10. Or like at least start with 5, go up to 7 maybe, but man, 3 just felt so small. And even in my failed run right now, I skipped 4, 5 gifts. That didn't feel good. I wanted to play with those really cool effects, right? Like, here's the thing. Crystallized refill trinkets by 15 seconds. Now, I don't have to explain what that means from a mechanical standpoint, but that's cool. It's a cool effect that I'm never, ever going to take, because there's no way I'm going to spend a quarter of my gifts on something that's pretty good. The problem is that you're so limited in space that a lot of them are just never going to be used, because since you're so limited in your gift space, some are just much better than others, like so much better than others. The one where every mini boss and boss that you kill gives you a boost is so much more powerful than crystallized refills trinkets by 15 seconds, like in general. And this one, criticals apply 1 burn. That's really, really weak, but it does do a bunch of burn synergies, which you can't really play much with because you're so limited with your gifts. I could try to go for a whole burn synergy. There's a bunch of gifts that do burn stuff, but that means that then I can't play with the switching weapons activate brutality because I'm committed to a burn thing. Why can't I have both? I want to play with both. So I really do hope that they change that you can have more gifts, so that they just completely revamp the gift system, because currently I don't like it. Now, I haven't seen other people talk about this game, so I don't know what people's opinions are of this. I personally think it's quite disappointing, and I've rarely been this vocal about something that I find very, very disappointing. But I am in this instance because I think the game is really, really fun. And in this instance, it just kind of bums me out that I see these awesome gifts that I just never use, because why would I pick them? Anyway, That's my biggest issue with the game currently, which is something that could definitely be adjusted. And all things considered, if this is my biggest issue, it's not a huge one, all things considered. My other issue is currency within the run itself. Now, during the run, you collect gold, right? And you can use your gold in the shop, and that's about it. The shop has different weapons and different skills you can find, and that's about it. I still haven't really wrapped my head around it, because Dead Cells does exactly the same thing, and it doesn't bother me as much. But in this game, it bothers me. I never spend money in the shop, and I don't know how to, because I don't see the point. When you go to a shop, the shop offers weapons of pretty much the same level that you have, and like this game, I will say, has a pretty good balance of weapons. So I rarely buy anything. This might just be because I haven't gotten comfortable with the shop yet, but it honestly feels like I'm struggling to find useful things to buy in the shop, which means that money is completely useless to me. And I've rarely had this sentiment in a roguelike. I feel like usually I always find ways to, use the currency in the game. I feel like the currency during runs is kind of pointless, and I always just buy health and potions. And yeah, maybe eventually I'll get more comfortable buying like actual weapons that I really like, but still, it just feels a little underwhelming. I think money should be used for other things. Like at one point, you could see like a little area in the world, like, oh, you can spend $300 to get this new weapon. It's like, why? The weapon is still the same level as the one I have. It's just for, I prefer this weapon over the other one, but you're just spending 300 gold on it. It's like, okay, I guess I could do that. It doesn't feel great. For me, if I'm going to be spending gold in a roguelike, I do like feeling like it's always going to add something, right? You're collecting gold, and you're going to use your gold to add something, like permanently make yourself stronger. But in this, not always, right? Of course, this is I like this feeling. But here it just feels like gold is always to replace something that you already have. If that makes sense, right? I think it's cool to have that as an option. I still wish there was more to do with your gold. Then again, maybe that, in my opinion, could change very easily in the long run. I do think the gift system, I'm pretty set on not liking that gift system, while the shop system maybe might change. But we'll see. It is similar to Dead Cells, and Dead Cells does it pretty well, so I can't wrap my head around why Dead Cells I like it, and this game I don't. I haven't really fully figured that one out yet, so I'll have to play it some more to really see why I don't like the shop system here. It's not something I truly dislike, I just kind of wish there was a little bit more to it. Also, the fact that the shop is always at the same place, so you always know where it is, and I don't know, there's a few things about it. In any case, I think that's my overall thoughts on the game. Overall, super satisfying, very enjoyable. I love the music, I love the vibe, I love the gameplay is very fun and very crazy. I love the attention to detail and the weapons. Just like Dead Cells, they put a lot of effort in each of the weapons, and there's a lot of different weapons. So that's cool. I really, really hope they change the gift mechanics somehow. I don't like it. There's a lot of them. I just feel like most of them are useless because I'm so limited with the amount of gifts that I can have. And I hope that I get more comfortable with the shop, or that they change some things about the gold during runs. But as it stands, this game is really, really solid. Also, I forgot to mention, this game really does try to push co-op. I don't play co-op games myself, but it seems like this is a very much trying to be a co-op game. So that's something to keep in mind. If you are into co-op games, this could be a really good game for you to play with your friends. I don't know much about the co-op feature, but it seems like they're trying to push that a lot. So that's cool. It advertises itself as a fast-paced, which means you're gonna hate it. Basically, every game I've seen that explicitly advertises itself as fast-paced just has that don't get hit lol, get good lol mentality that just annoys me. I can understand that, and I think that, yeah, a lot of fast-paced games tend to be quite punishing in that regard. I agree. It's a rewarding system for people that are comfortable with these kinds of mechanics and can react pretty fast, because since I've gotten very comfortable with these kinds of mechanics, I love the feeling of being able to evade something really quickly. But if you do get caught and you take a bunch of damage, it doesn't feel great. I agree. And that's kind of the feeling I had on that last run, to be honest. I think Risk of Rain 2, I would say, just has that perfect blend of slow and fast. It is so perfect in its gameplay. in that regard. It's just so good. Like, you can be fast, you can also be slow. They did such a good job with the pacing. But yeah, that's about it.